with John 19th, Alex Jones will start in 20th.
Texas speed driver in the 11 machine of Tyler Thomas will be in 21st spot. Jay Beckard is 22nd. Sam Siegel in the 55 will be in 23rd position. Travis Dart, though, furthest down of any of our final 8 drivers in the Elite 8 round. In 26 would be Peter Dillon. 26 drivers in total. But Trevor, you have circle of drivers that are kind of Cinderella stories at times. That of Travis Dart, making it to the round of 8. That is a huge success for the 26. But what a mountain he's going to have to climb. Already down 4 points. Just coming into tonight, back to 24. This is going to be rough for Dart to get back into this fight. He's got to make sure he gets a top 10 finish here tonight.
Yeah, he needs to get a top 10. He needs to get some stage points as well. And starting all the way down there in 24th, it's going to be tough for him to get up there in the field. And kind of surprising. I mean, we've seen the qualifying speed out of the 26 machine all season long, been up inside the top 10 in a lot of our qualifying efforts, and had the speed to kind of back it up. We voted on his struggles to have long run speed, been a lot better this season, but the uncharacteristic qualifying run for himself is going to set him up for a long night.
Really will.
Hey, Doug, thanks for the like.
Really we get ourselves prepared for tonight's race. Yet the start of the round of 8, race 1 of 2. Next week will be Bristol.
Thank you, Doug.
See who will run for a championship at Kansas.
We'll try.
Tonight's race is the On the Throttle Podcast 200. Check out On the Throttle Podcast wherever you can find podcasts. Our most recent episode, episode 78, recapping the NASCAR Championship weekend. And NASCAR has concluded the 2023 season. Listen to that of William Duff as well as Trey Jackson on their thoughts on how NASCAR's been going.
Track temp down a few degrees in the 88.
Tonight will be
65 air, so was in the 90s.
5, no fast repairs, 4 extra sets of tires in pit road.
Roger.
Important, as well as making
Roger.
air. But drivers also have to note there's been an average of 4 to 5 cautions every time they come here at Auto Club. So avoid the big one. Don't be.
All right, buddy. Let's go. Good luck.
Front and make sure you've got a chance to get into victory lane. As the field waits for the base car to pull off into pit road. Once again, welcome back to Broadcasting. Hopefully you enjoyed your vacation with the holidays. It's time for us.
Outside line went first.
Racing Series Round of 8 is underway for the On the Throttle Podcast 200. Ken Campbell, Christopher Norris roar down into turn number 1.
On the throttle they go, and
You are clear low.
really good jump on that outside line. Mike clear.
88 behind you. All clear.
Turn 1, Norris going to drive it all the way to the bottom, the white line. Campbell all the way to the top. The 8 of McCann kind of running the middle. Trey Jackson sliding up. He's going to lose a position potentially to the 21 of Ross Tatum. It's a drag race down the back straightaway. Norris can't.
Here you're bottoming out a little bit.
He wants to help as they head down on turn number 3.
Christopher Wade not comfortable at the exit turn 2, went straight down the apron.
I'm really surprised they didn't catch a black flag for the 15. He definitely went before the leader.
Machine, but Ken Campbell, Christopher Morris teammates up front, continue to stay side by side. Who's going to take that first lap? It's Ken Campbell, the driver that's got the pole the last 2 seasons.
38 right rear.
He's out from Hardship.
Still out there.
Potentially here, but he's got to be worried.
He's going to have a run up on off the corner, and he's going to have some draft help.
The 8 looking quick as he's tackling that front back.
Campbell trying to pick up where he left off 2 weeks ago at Nashville.
Still there.
Trying to lead the most laps, get a win. Norris, though, with the draft assistance off his team, making
clear up
back in front of the 8 of McCann. McCann, the Michigan winner, the kind of the sister track to Auto Club from earlier this season, trying to make that inside line work to get to the inside of Norris and hold on to second, but they're going to have to give that back up and fall in line in front of Ross Tatum as the field starts to single file out here on lap number 2.
Lap 2 in the books, and the rest of the field, you see the middle of the pack still looking pretty jostled. Top 6 in line. Figure out how we want to tackle it. We stay in line, protect our tires. Where do you get aggressive? Use up your rubber now. Let's step the outside lane. He's got the 1 of Will Bustler on that inner.
Ross Tatum and Trey Jackson behind you. Will Bustler with the fastest lap so far.
The driver that knows how to get the big lane and move quicker than tracks. He is fast. That means, this is a track of Auto Club at Michigan. This one could be a threat to watch out for later on, as same for Andrew Bethlen. It's the driver behind them in that pink Barbie machine. It's the 99 of Brandon Colley that I'm most kind of interested in seeing how his nights get progressed. What speed is he looking for, or is it a consistent night for Collier tonight?
Yeah, that's the real question. His pace kind of just been all over the board. He got the run back at Richmond.
Good exit.
In the playoffs. But you think back to last week at Nashville, I know, comparing Nashville to here, you can't really do that to 2 completely different tracks, but just did not have the speed last week. Barely made it in to this round based off of where he finished in Nashville. So we'll have to see if he can bounce back and find some speed in that 99 machine. And right now, trying to figure out where he wants to go. As you can see the cluster cars in front of him, Trey Jackson, Cameron Sargent, Andrew Medler, Will Bustler, Collie, all side by side trying to jostle for position.
Great catch and a great qualifying stop from the 88. She qualified in third, and the 88 starting to struggle as we look back. Rear end of 99 of Brandon Collie, Cedric Hunter, and others trying to make the charge forward. In that group is 17 of Chris Stitz. He's trying to make this charge forward, but certainly drivers are going to be trying to figure out, again, it's the picking and choosing. Do you want to be aggressive now or later? First 5-10 laps here at Auto Club can be so crucial of, get it, it can really hurt your long run pace if you're too aggressive, but you also can give up too much time and you can never gain back. We've seen that same scenario that happened to Ross Data, but he's really learned on how not to do that anymore, as they're 3 wide in front of this group. It's Medlin as well as that of Start. Russell fall back in line. Trevor, that same.
They're all going low. I don't know if they're doing it right or I'm doing it wrong.
Not afford to do that.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it with Ross Tatum.
But you're pulling back up on him on the backstretch though, and you're keeping an even about 2/10 between you and Ross Tatum behind you.
Better at saving over the course of the run. So that strategy of kind of giving up 5-6 positions early on and getting it back hasn't really worked out. So
I figure if they're having to turn the wheel more in order to keep it on the white line in 1 and 2, that they're scrubbing more.
Track position. These guys have to figure out. It's a short run. Save only 25 minutes. So do you be a little bit over aggressive or learn from that going into the second half?
Oh yeah, I don't like that.
Right now, drivers up front, in line, trying to conserve as much as they can currently. Sitting shot of Ross Tatum, qualified in 5th, moved up just 1 position, now up to 4th place for this 21 machine. He has Brian McCann, the driver that's won the most this season. Brian McCann has been a threat ever since the Clash first showed he was going to have a lot of speed. We weren't sure how much of the speed he would have until he started pedaling off.
Stage break is on lap 25.
At Chicagoland, then won Michigan, New Hampshire, Charlotte, Las Vegas. It's the 1.5 miles in bigger tracks that we know Brian McCann needs to run at. No, tonight could be a big one for the 8. It's 21 as well. Showing speed at himself and trying to carry that forward. But I do want
They're coming back to you.
14th position. Travis Starr, we're talking about the 4th qualifying run in that.
Yeah, they're killing that tire low.
Big mover right now, up 10 spots, but still outside of our top 10 to get those stage bonus points.
I was just looking at the timing board and saw crack the top 15. Great start for himself. Needs to find.
They got me in 3 and 4 though. That's where I need the speed to get him on the front stretch.
It's right behind him, Zach Hall. In the 32 as well, trying to move up a little bit from his poor qualifying run. But these two,
if they pull away a little bit in 1 and 2, but you get them all the way into 1, off of 2, and the entire backstretch, you at some point they're going to work their way so far back too. You're going to be able to get under them getting into 3, and then you'll come off even.
Very little drivers, 7 laps, so we 8 that are outside of our top 10. No, not in stage point collecting windows. Chris Stitz in 11, and you have Travis Stark 14.
There you go.
In 15.
That was a good exit.
Trying their best to move forward if possible, but it's looking very tough for those 3 drivers. If they can get
What'd you do? Back it up a little bit?
Positions as the field continues to race on. 9 laps in the book as they start lap 10. But a condition that we kind of talked briefly about, tire wear. It is here. It is already showing drivers.
Different angle.
Okay.
8/10.
There you go.
Their best time. Some drivers are already a second slower than their fastest lap. Just 10 laps in as we're closing in closer and closer to the halfway zone of this stage.
Yeah, and it's kind of an interesting characteristic about Auto Club. You think of it kind of like a super speedway racing with how important the draft is, how close these guys are on top of one another, but then acts just like any other 1.5 mile tire wear is super important here, as it can really affect how your car handles, how you can keep speed and maintain speed off the corners, which is really important here. So drivers are going to have to be careful about that. And looking back, here's John Hart.
But when he does that, it takes my air away.
Yeah, I see you getting tight.
On a winner, Tyler Thomas as well in the 11. All back here battling for 16th, on back to that of 20.
Battling in this back half of the middle.
Still 2/10 back to Tatum.
Really, it's always a fun grouping to watch.
There you go.
Into this race, as they're always.
They're going to come up a little bit, give you that clean air on the nose.
Maximize on.
You might even, got a little loose.
laps into this race. Starting to see a little bit more movement throughout the field of drivers bouncing forward and backwards on making passes. Jones is taking that outside lane. Maybe lose a little bit in the center of the corner, but you see that massive run the 45 just got, staying side by side and inching forward and now fully clear. That outside lane does have speed, but you have to be careful on making sure that car stays underneath you when you exit the corner.
Yeah, it's really easy to get loose off the corner. Really easy to get into the wall, too, just drifting up a little bit too high. And Alex Jones from that outside line perfectly to his advantage right there.
You and Tatum have both been faster than P2 4 of the last 5 laps.
See if he goes as high as the 45 did that last time by, or if he elects to kind of run a more middle line and electing a bit lower line than the 45 there in front of him. But nonetheless, still going to get a pretty good run here, I believe, on 5 John Dart at a turn
lead
four.
did a 41.
See that rocket ship with the 11, the momentum you can carry on that outer crew. Also, having the driver.
Hey, Brian, thanks for the like.
Tell on the straight race. Also, kind of pulls the driver. And John Dart didn't have anyone in front of him behind, so he was stuck not getting that assistance. But these drivers are ripping the top. Jones scraping the wall just slightly and allowing these drivers to be 3 wide off the exit. And Tyler Thomas should have the momentum to solidify for both those positions, but they continue to stay side by side. They'll stay 3 wide into 3.
Yeah, didn't quite have the full momentum down the back straightaway. John Dart there using a little bit of the side draft to pull the 11 back, and still going to be a little bit 3 wide here through 3 and 4, but John going to have to give that position up to the 11 of Thomas. And he's going to be side by side with Alex Jones there down the front straightaway. But Jones, that little bit of contact he had with that outside ball really killed the momentum of the 45 machine. You can see kind of how important that momentum is to have, especially down these long straightaways. And right now, he's still in that battle here for 18th, 17th, and 18th positions. They hit through 1 and 2.
Heading through 1 and 2, and this back group, again, always a joy to go back and watch. There's not much else going on in front of them. Some drivers, though, have been making moves instead of their top 10. Chris Stitz has made it into the top 10, but he might not be staying there for very long. The 17, the similar thing with Alex Jones, rushing the outside wall on the entry of the corner. The 17 trying to get a little bit too much in that Mountain Dew machine.
Yeah, just trying to get a little bit too much. Thankfully, these cars can take a little bit of a scrape, a little bit more durable than the trucks were last season. So they can take a little bit of a scrape, but definitely something you don't want to do a lot over the course of this race, especially with how aero-dependent these race cars are. So a little bit of side damage could really hurt that 17 machine. And right now, try not to give up the position in 26 there of Travis Dart, who was looking to move up into that 11th position and try to run down Cedric Gunner, but might lose a position to the 3 of Brian Lynch, who's kind of held steady where he qualified, now looking to the inside and trying to bring that 32 and Zach Hall with him.
Zach Hall, the way his car was shooting.
You got him off 3 and 4 that time.
Wanted to make a move, but just was boxed in, not able to make any dashing gaps to the inside, middle, or the outside. But let's actually right on board with one of these drivers up front, because I'm curious.
Hold on to it. There you go.
This track surface, Auto Club, no longer going to be used. Scan of Auto Club, a very aggressive track on the bumps, as we're going to be right on board with Collie getting a sense of what these drivers are sensing just on the straightaways into the corners.
So, yeah, like a mini roller coaster. It's really bumpy down the back straightaway and through the corner. A little bit smoother, still got some pretty big bumps. You can see him bouncing over there, a little bit of wheel movement, trying to keep that car straight, kind of slide the car through it is how these drivers attack it. You got to straighten it back out to get off the corner exit, try to keep all that momentum. You see down here through 1 and 2, there's some pretty good bumps down here into 1 and 2 that they have to cross over. And you can just see everybody fanning out different lines. You got cars at the bottom, cars at 1 seam up, 2 seams up, all the way to the wall in the middle of the racetrack. This is what makes Auto Club so much fun, and what was a fan favorite on the NASCAR schedule.
It really was a fan favorite. Unfortunately, Real Life Auto Club get demolished now, but luckily on iRacing, we've got this scan, and drivers love to race it on all the different opportunities and driving styles to attack this course with. So we're on board the 99 Brandon Colley. These drivers seeing the lap times tick away. Again, we do have a stage break here this evening. At the end of lap 25, we will have a caution. Caution flag happens within 5 laps. To lap 25, that will also count as our stage break, and only the top 10 drivers get bonus points.
There you go. Good exit.
It's 10 bonus.
You might even be able to get to his inside. Maybe not.
Continues to dwindle down 1 point until we get to 10th place, where that driver gets just 1 mere bonus point for themselves. As drivers really trying their best to stay up front driver that's trying to crack the top 10 and just gain some position. It's no longer in the hunt for a championship. It's Andrew Medlin with our Medlin cam. You can see those hands really working off the exit, trying to keep this car pointed straight as the loose sensation starting to kick in.
Caution's out.
Loose sensation kicking in the always focused Andrew Medlin with a caution.
Let's see, it's something to do with Christopher Wade and Chris Melton.
Christopher Melton getting involved with one another off the exit of turn 4. As the back end field starting to get a little bit more racy with one another. Looked like Christopher Melton, catalyst for this incident coming out. Just was searching for a little bit too much of the track and ran out of space with other drivers around him.
Yeah, let's take a look back and see what happened between him and Wade. But Sam, an interesting spot for this caution to come out is tail end of it there. But lap 19, not sure if this will be the stage or will we see some pit strategies. I think we're having a little bit of trouble pulling the replay up, but you can see the two cars there in the grass.
How many people's going to pit here?
Contact off the corner exit.
It's going to be interesting. I would say if the top two
rushing up, and
I don't know what your points and all that look like. I'm not in your Discord.
Actually coming.
I'm good on points.
Alex Jones was running the top lane, and Christopher Wade.
I just don't want to wreck out.
I don't think he knew that Melton was.
I would say if they pit in front of you, pit with him.
As he was coming back.
These guys definitely seem to really have the speed.
45.
What you call it?
Side lane.
Cameron Sarton fell back one. He was in 7th, now back right where he qualified. Brandon Colley is up 6. Chris Stitz is up 5. Will Bustler is up 4. The biggest mover, Travis Dart, right now he's up to P14, up 10 spots.
Going to be getting them stage points. So now is a crucial time and moment on the track as drivers going to have that hard decision.
Looks like they are gonna. Whoa, they're gonna stay.
That pit stop.
Yeah, I was wondering if this was going to count as.
All right, so
or if we were going to see
Trey Jackson, Will Bustler, Cedric Hunter, Chris Stitz, and Medrin.
Stitz.
Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Racetrack, but it looks like
The only the top 10 stayed out.
Lynch stays out. I believe Zach Hall stays out as well. So
I got some blockers.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
like to stay out.
I feel for that if Zach others coming into pit road might have been a very.
And you're going to start on the bottom.
Some drivers that come into this with some massive bonus points because of the way.
Bad thing is, it's going to be like a 2 or 3 lap shootout.
Yep.
So those new tires are going to murder us.
Buffer coming in tonight, so he can do whatever he wants. Really.
I wanted to stay out because I don't want to risk it. Because I'm.
Oh, I get it.
I got so many points right now. I just don't want to crash out. Really.
Came in second in points, 15-point buffer.
I get it.
I feel like he needed some stage points. Feel a little bit more confident going into Bristol next week. But for Zach Hall, he's going to be right around that buffer zone that these drivers are just.
But it looked like everybody was going in, so I was like, all right, if everybody goes in, and then they started pulling out, I was like, nope.
That decided not to come into pit road, but they're thinking about strategy calls.
Yep. Everybody. It looks like actually the top 11 stayed out. Alex Jones at the last minute decided he was going to stay out. So from Trey Jackson on back, that just came in.
Alex Jones, Sam Siegel, Zach Hall, those guys there at the back, they're going to be the first guys that these cars on new tires are going to have to get around. So it's going to be a little bit nerve-wracking for them. I think if you're, Ken Campbell, Norris, McCann, it might be safe by the end of the stage. It might not get to you, but this is definitely going to be a wild restart with the difference in tires.
Drivers are waiting for that 1 to go marker once the pace car lights turn off, and they're expecting it now.
I'm guessing they've got strict black off because the 15 definitely jumped on the outside line before the leader went on that initial start.
Steve Benjamin, a huge shout out.
The leader didn't go on green. That's what happened.
Yeah. It's been a pleasure to have Steve Benjamin helping out, being that extra eye in the sky for this field, giving instructions as
he was sleeping.
2 laps, but
gotcha.
Not expecting anyone to hit pit road. Because if there is a caution, that will count as our stage break, so the field knows.
Right, here's where I get screwed, though. On the bottom.
Maximize on your stage bonus points. So our stage
well, we shall see. Could be what you need to. Because obviously the bottom line, if he doesn't sleep again, you'll have a little bit of a jump before the 15 and be able to pull under the 15, get into 3 and 4, and try to get on the throttle as soon as you can.
This is gonna.
We're gonna have some tire spin too.
What's that?
Yeah,
we're gonna have tire spin.
Yeah.
Ducks for these guys.
It's gonna shoot right. So
first tire is gonna be Will Bustler in the 1. Trey Jackson in the 88. Then you've got
We might see another caution.
Travis Start back there. Those guys are
Well, definitely be a second gear restart.
way up. And I mean, I fully expect by the time we get to turn 1, maybe out of turn 2, Sam, to see cars all the way from the white line to the wall, blocking up this race.
Lights on the pace car out.
Well, if you've ever wondered why this track is as wide as it is, you're going to find out very quickly. This track at Auto Club Speedway is a joy to watch, but when scenarios where you got half the field on old tires, the other half with freshies, you get pleasure action like
There you go.
who's going to survive?
Good start.
Find out. It's the On the Throttle Podcast 200 is back.
All right, 21 is at your right front.
Outside,
So you've got the line.
up to speed down in turn number 1. Who's going to
There you go.
the first stage here at the end of lap 25 when the stage concludes, and already 3 wide, almost 4 wide down into turn number 1.
Still there, right rear.
4 wide into turn number 1. Bustler, Duff, Siegel, Sitter.
Outside.
There goes the 17 of Stitch trying to get through. Collie with a big slide out of turn number 2. They're going to be 3 wide down the back.
Right front.
Sorry,
Door.
Zach Hall, 3 wide behind them. With new tires trying to get
Right rear.
3 wide.
Still there, on your tight.
They're almost at
On your tight. Stay there. Hold your line. There you go.
everything they can.
Big drivers to watch.
He's back up by the wall.
26 and the 17.
And clear.
Start. Those are the 2 drivers in the playoffs still that decided to come into pit road. All the other playoff contenders decided to stay out as the field goes down in a turn.
And here's the new tires.
On the stage, and Trey Jackson able to move up to 7th position.
88 low. Clear up high.
Use
Get back in the draft. You'll be fine.
move up, almost gets caught up in a wreck. Speaking of wreck, Zach Paul, Chris Stitz, he'll survive as they're 3 wide in the middle of the field, but it's pandemonium. Drivers on those older tires are almost a full second slower than those that just got fresh rubber. Closing rate is massive. Can handle
7 car, 1 car coming. Yeah, they are flying through.
how long? It's the exit at turn number 4 from the white flag.
Right now, sitting P7.
All got hit by this
99 behind you. 99 is on
Travis Start.
old tires, just like you.
Stitch go by, but Trey Jackson with fresh tires and all the momentum on that inside of the line, trying to get the lead. He's side by side with Christopher Morris going to turn number 1. Going to get that spot away and drive.
It's like we're running 2 different races here.
Right? Looks like LMP2s versus GT3s.
Old tires on the top side of this racetrack.
They're making aggressive moves, and Chris Stitz needed to gain a little bit more. Some slight blocks deeper in the pack, but Travis Start, biggest loser. Now to
26 flying.
He needs big points. Chris Stitz is doing a great
P10 right now.
forward. He might be able to grab just 2 to 3 positions here off the exit turn 4, but Trey Jackson coming
Hey,
in.
there you go. So you got,
Stage win is the
there's caution.
One decision and a call as the
So what do you get, 1 point?
will be your stage yellow. Congratulations, the Trey Jackson in the 88 machine.
I don't know how they do it.
On the Throttle Podcast 200 at the stage, and
Okay.
fitting stage to win for one of the hosts of the On the Throttle Podcast.
During the regular season, it was winner only got a point.
Certainly
Oh,
a
okay.
lot of action to cover there, but somehow everyone kept it straight, neat and tidy. There were a couple
Well,
of
and now we'll go to the 88 of Trey Jackson.
ultimately we survived.
Survived. I'm not sure how. We saw 4 wide, 3 wide.
Oh, I should have took tires.
Times a little bit of contact between a couple of drivers, but it keeps it straight.
Learning curve for later on, sir.
Big winners in that, though.
Yeah, it just sucks. Now I got to start 10th and pass them all back.
It's having a great stage.
Yeah, but you think about how hard they were all just pushing
Stage points coming in plus
for 5 laps.
Tatum. Or I'm sorry, coming in -2, not getting stage points. That's going to hurt him with Campbell and Norris both getting stage points.
We got how many tires over the wall? 4. So that just come in and get
checking right
tires
now.
here.
Outside the top 15 all the way down
Yeah,
to
4.
18 by the time the stage ended.
But they're gonna have the fresher tires here at the stage. You give up some time to get it back, hopefully later on. And that was the hard decision for drivers that came into pit road, knowing that we were gonna have a 3-lap shootout. Was if we go aggressive, take our tires now, we're gonna be at the disadvantage once we go green.
Pit road is now open.
But grabbing those stage points could be a big help for Stitz and others that decided to take those tires as the field's preparing to enter pit road.
All right, let's see.
It's gonna be another split decision of who decides to come in, and if drivers come in, most likely those that already took tires just going to top off on fuel. Anyone takes 2 sets of tires, it's going to be massive. To only
So the ones that came in before just stayed out.
It'd be an interesting call to come down and take 2 sets of tires that quickly. Looks like a couple of fakes from pit road from drivers that already pit, but here comes everybody else that didn't pit there at our stage break, led by the 15 of Ken Campbell. Chris Stitz actually damn down pit road after he had taken tires at the stage. So interesting call from the 17.
Oh, I'm not the 3.
Fuel only, or is he gonna take another set of tires here?
I feel like for States, it's got to be
Right
just
here.
fuel only. You cannot afford to just throw away 2 sets in 4 laps. That is a
Dang it.
wild thought to do. And I'm watching
Your
17
pit box is just a red sign.
It's just fuel only. Topping it off, gonna get back out there on track. Might also think about repairs. I know some drivers got really close to getting themselves into
That's it, go.
damage. And don't want to grab any more of that. And actually, a huge surprise, Stitz did take tires.
Slide up single
He
file.
took tires. I can't believe that he just took 2 tires after 4 laps, but I mean, when you come in -5
Now we on back here.
races to go,
Yeah, a little bit.
why not roll the
Yeah,
dice and be
P19.
aggressive? Very aggressive call from the 17 team.
A wildly aggressive.
I didn't adjust my brake bias and slid. It just locked the rear up.
Is getting ready to get back out there on track. Trey Jackson going to be lead.
That's weird. Track temp continues to come down. It was at 88 when the race started. Now it's down to 85.
And everyone making that decision in a quick call. Where do you want to be for that?
Air temp staying the same, 65.
All around. And I'm curious on what was going on with Chris Stitz. And why not give a
I
call?
was wearing them pretty good, 83, 82.
See how he's doing out there. Going to be back in 14th
Yeah.
position.
Not bad at all.
Let's see if we can queue up the 17
I'll
and
take
Chris
top here.
Stitz. Stitz, it's Sam and Trevor up the booth. You got us?
Just got to play it safe now, though.
All right, man, we're going
No
green.
problem.
Next
I know
time
it's
by. All right, man,
pretty
line up
loud
on
out
the
there. We're
inside
trying to
row.
talk to everyone you can. Chris, we saw that you just made the decision. Use another.
Go ahead and turn my brake bias up just in case I need to use it.
On track.
Hey, I'm sorry.
Yeah, at some point I want to actually
I don't know what's going on.
ask you about that.
Oh, it's all
About when you're making those brake bias changes and when you're not.
That's where we're getting back.
But I won't do that right now.
Thought maybe we can get a queue up with 17. But hey, every once in a while, Trevor, audio issues pop up. And
Not really using the brake here, just,
more in sometimes.
I know what you mean, though.
The audio system says, no, we're not talking today.
Yeah, the fun part about online simulation racing is sometimes your audio device where you hear each other doesn't work and you're kind of just left in the dark. And looks like Stit's having a little bit of radio issues, but Sam, nonetheless, aggressive call from Chris on taking another set of tires 4 laps after he took his first 4 sets of tires for these guys. So he's got 2 sets left for the rest of this race with 1 guaranteed pit stop that he's got.
Everybody's still on the lead lap. All 26 cars.
Late race cautions at the wrong time that could really hurt this 17 car.
I mean, like I said before, the average for cautions has been anywhere from 4 to 6 cautions. That's been the window throughout a race. We've already gotten 2. So it means that we might have 2 more waiting in the wings of who could bring out our next
Get ready.
yellow. But currently, it's drivers deciding to stay out. Going to be on slightly older
All right, buddy.
tires. Our
Pace car's pulling off.
8 cars in.
You got the 99 Barbie machine to your outside.
Even in Princess, when we saw
Mr. Medlin right in front of you.
Green, green, green.
shootout, it's still going to be a pretty.
I'm sorry, Sarton.
These drivers are going to attack, having ran 3 green flag laps into the restart zone. No more stage racing.
Stay low.
Who's going to win the On the Throttle Podcast 200? Let's find out.
Stay low.
71 laps
You're
to
clear
go.
high, clear
And
high.
Trey
Clear
Jackson
up.
and Connor are going to be your front 2 down into turn number 1.
Turn number 1, they go, so they're kind of going to dive it all the way to the bottom of the racetrack, try to clear that 88 machine. Will Bustler trying to do the same with 12 Vader. Medlin, Travis Start just kind of following in suit. Hunter going to get the lead at turn number 2. Trey Jackson with the crossover move down the back straightaway as those 2 continue to battle for the lead heading into turn number 3.
You want that clean air. It allows you to go into these corners, feel a little bit more comfortable. That nose is going to be slotted and allowing you to go through these corners. But Trey Jackson, Cedric Hunter, right on top of one another through the center of the corner. The 7 going to have the advantage off the exit of the corner. Top 5 pretty gapped out from the rest of the field. As the drivers first to those on Freshest and Rooker, going to be Chris Morris back in 11th place. Not a lot of movement from the 38 machine up front. It's Will Bustler that's actually on the charge.
Hustle closing in. Hunter and Trey Jackson, they're really battling hard with one another and drove each other all the way up to the wall almost into 1 and 2. Hunter going to go with the crossover move. Bustler trying to close in. Top 5, like you said, kind of spread out. It's all the way back to John Hart. They're in 6th. It's kind of the second group. He's got the 11. And Tyler Thomas, his teammate, 28. But Tony Brent there, as well as the 6th. Jonathan Burt, the Texas Speed guys having a really good run. All those tail with each other with the 10th Dave Becker as they try to close in on their top 5.
Bit different, taking that percent through. This one's still taking
There you go. Way to use the clean air in that middle line there.
on in this race. Trey Jackson back to the point after 10 having the lead.
That I'm trying to keep an eye on everybody. I'm playing it super safe.
Okay.
Round though continues to fight side by side, and you can see the gaggle of cars also still back and forth battling for those inside of our top 15. That's driving around 10, 11, 12, back to 14 that are up in 10.
Zach Hall coming up to your bumper.
Every little piece of this track.
Trying to find any little bit of momentum, speed, conditions you can possibly find as everybody's kind of stacked up on top of one another. Jay Becker going to battle with the 21 Austin Norris, looking to try to make it 3 wide going into 1. He gets shut off from that attempt heading into 1. Now it's going to open the door for the 20.
Zach Hall, right rear.
Sarton's going to back into the bottom. Norris though finding room on the outside of the 10 of Jay Becker. Here comes Sarton to the inside. It's going to be 3 wide up 2, and with the 10 in the middle, and he's falling back to Stitz, trying to look for any room to find himself in pole positions. Here's ahead of turn number 3.
This is when you've got to be trusting your in-game audience telling you what's 2 line, 3 wide.
This pack you have in front of you is starting to run down the leaders.
Know what information you need to make aggressive moves. The only driver, the actual in-person call-outs in spotter is the 8 machine of Brian McCann. And he's getting a great view of all the madness as Brian McCann, as well as Zach Hall back in 17 to 18 position, just watching this madness in front. Brian McCann, it's got to be very helpful to have an actual person in his ear. Having a real life person can allow you to tell you, hey, this outside lane's moving faster. The inside
Right front. There you go. 3 wide. Hold your line. 101 outside. Right rear. Middle line clear.
Who's falling back, who's going forward as opposed to the standard iRacing.
Right, all the way up clear.
2 wide, hey, you're 3 wide type of thing. Really helpful for that 8 machine as he's just kind of watching and waiting what's going on in front of him. And kind of the theme that we've seen over the last couple of seasons after the stage break, typically one big wreck when everybody's grouped together. Haven't seen that quite yet. So these guys may be back there with Zach Hall and Polly playing it a little safe, letting this race play out a little bit.
Good runoff.
The aggression died down before they try to make their way forward. As you can see down the back straightaway, just everybody on top of them.
Curious if maybe it's a set of, hey, we have the potential of staying premium. It's going to be a perfection, you know, if that happens. We're on the blimp cam getting a really good shot of all of the action in front and behind the 8 machine.
If that 32 can make a hole for you, just try to follow him through. You definitely have the speed.
Like Brian McCann, Zach Hall, Brandon Colley, these drivers
let him burn them up.
Decision. They want to stay back. And maybe it's because they're thinking, hey, we can jump these drivers once green flag pit stops happen if we're able to get to that point.
Yeah, it could very well be setting yourself up for that, you know, pit strategy later on in this race that could really turn the tide for you. We've seen it with Joshua Altis a couple seasons ago, being able to survive on fuel and get the win. Could be the thoughts of some of these drivers as they, you know, run around and setting themselves up for what could be a final green flag pit stop later on down the road. But I think for a lot of these guys, saying it's about survival over, you know, through these
first through 6th right now is all single file.
All over the place. The rest of the move, drivers trying to get past them. Others, Campbell's battling here with the 6th and trying to convert. Zach Hall trying to find a way through. McCain, Holly just sitting there waiting, watching to see what line opens up and which line has the better run.
A little bit of mix and mingle of drivers getting into the outside wall as Chris Titz and others. And a little bit of monkey see, monkey do as come up the exit at 4, getting close to the outside wall. Some punching it, some people just be very close to contact. There is a little bit of mixture. That is the Texas Speed drivers of Brent, as well as Bert as driver in the outside wall. That's Tyler Thomas, who has a big scrape on that outer wall. Texas Speed, that gamble staying out.
99 throwing it in, left rear.
This moment as they're starting to fade backwards.
3 with you. Clear up high still.
Well, out of turn number 4, the 11 machine kind of struggling on these older tires.
Clear low.
As he gives up in position to 24 of Cameron Sarton. 17 of Chris Titz looking to make a move to the inside. Jay Becker is sitting there. Ryan Lynch as well in the 3.
99 left rear again.
Waiting
inside door.
38, I'm sorry. Lining up, trying to find ways to hide each other. And as a driver, you got to be weary of knowing
still there, left rear.
At times, maybe I need to give him a little bit more space on corner exits to avoid potential contact.
The section field is so memorable, so just that get you in a trance.
Yeah, one inside.
Back and forth, and as this case, a lot of back and forth.
You're going to have the runoff. 99 trying to walk you up the corner in the, trying to walk you up the track in the corners.
the race as Travis Dart was in
Clear
for a
low,
quick
clear low.
moment.
Got one
Cedric Hunter's
inside.
falling back in third. Trey
Back
Jackson
inside.
Stay
that's
high.
at fourth. And currently fifth is Andrew Bedlin. As
Stay
for
high.
one machine, hold steady up front. Again, like you said before, he is quick at these
Still
miles,
there.
at these
Hold
2
your
mile
line. You're up top.
bonuses.
All right, we're going to end up 3 wide here.
Michigan
99
your
low,
line.
6 in the middle.
Will Buster almost found himself in victory.
Still 3.
Got one
just
inside.
this season.
Two wide
Back
there.
double, clear 6.
Season.
Stay high.
Brett second win. Got his
Clear
first
low, clear
Talladega.
low. Got one
Second
inside.
record.
6 throwing it
There.
in.
Hold your line. All
Clear
all
6.
clear.
Weird.
Clear all the way around.
Just hold on to it, kind of, you know,
Got one
block the
inside.
lines, block the
All
run.
right, left
All
front.
clear, all clear.
Travis
Pinching you a little bit. You're clear.
Got one
strategy called
inside.
runs
3's inside.
a second
Stay
with a
high.
chance to get a
Across the
really
low
good
side.
finish for himself here. As behind him, the
Stay high.
88 Trey
Across
Jackson,
the
the
low
70
side.
Cedric Hunter, they go to battle.
Still there. Nothing for you on exit
All
speed.
clear, all
Well,
clear.
Will Buster's at the speed, but Travis Dart,
Clear all the way around.
we've seen his brother do
Outside.
it at Auto Club last season. Can Travis pull the same
Still
kind of
there.
Cinderella story here this tonight?
Well, speaking about his brother,
Stay low,
John
there's a
Dart,
car
back
on
in
the
6th
high
place.
side.
He's also in touching distance.
You're clear high. Clear high. Got one
Then
outside.
outside, right front.
Still there.
Travis decided to pit early.
All
Clear up.
clear, all clear.
Over. He's got caught.
Good job, sir.
Cameron Sark, Chris Stitz. Those are the drivers that decided to pit at our stage break and have about a 3-lap advantage on their tires. Slowly making the charge forward and running for that sequence stands. Cameron Sark, Chris Stitz, about 2 to 3 tenths faster than the that. You can see how
You're faster than the 5 cars in front of you.
the field to make their way forward. As John Dart gets a little bit scooped on the outside lane. Cameron Sark's got to dash down low. Be going 2 by 2 for a little bit of action here from 7th back to 10th.
Yeah, the brush for the wall. I'm turning the floor. I'm cheating until I'll start to get to his inside. He keeps Chris Stitz doing the same. Ross staying in front of him, working that inside line, trying to get past it low. Through Medlin, a little bit of draft help off the back of the 7 of Cedric Hunter is going to allow it to be on the field as well. So he is the 5 machine, but John Dart going to have a pretty good run with draft help from the 24 to stay side by side with 17. Chris Stitz is ahead in turn number 3.
Tampa, Florida native trying to make his way forward. For Andrew Medlin inside. Very close
Inside.
pitch with
3
Ross
wide.
Tatum.
You're in the middle.
Stay right there, stay right there, stay right there.
Hold your line.
21.
Got one outside.
Patiently waiting.
2 wide there.
Clear low.
Still there.
Movement.
3 wide. You're in the middle. Inside. 2 wide there.
Waiting.
3
there.
inside.
Hold your line.
You're in the middle.
3
3
wide.
wide.
You're in the middle.
11 up top, 3 low.
Hold your line.
Just that. In 5th place. Seeing some action in front.
Still there.
3
Clear
wide.
low. Clear
Clear
low.
low.
2 wide there.
11 right rear.
Okay, if you're looking for some clean air to work with, but it
Stay
can be
low.
also tough for some of these drivers. A little bit of action though,
All
deeper
clear,
in the
all
field.
clear.
Big
Clear up.
by the 3 of Ryan Lynch. That spooked a lot of drivers and what was other two drivers losing some ground.
Clear all the way.
Almost that happened.
And everybody keeps it clean to get the 8 of them can back there, kind of in all this chaos. Is Tony Brent's in front of him, Jay Becker right there behind him, Ryan Lynch, Tyler Thomas, William Duff, Christopher Wade all back here. For McCann, kind of surprised Sam. Everybody that took tires with him, that he was running up there in the front with Christopher Norris, Kim Campbell, Zach Hall, those guys kind of pulled away from this 8 machine. Brandon Colley up there not too far in front of that 8 machine. His contact, and there goes
Jay
the 10.
Becker. Jay Becker gets sent down to the inside after his driver makes contact to the outside wall. That was Tyler Thomas, who then gets into the 10
Still
machine.
green, but there is a wreck behind you.
Gonna bring out a yellow flag, but for Beckard, takes the toe to pit road. Hard
Gonna
contact.
stay green.
His race looks to be done for the 10 machine. Another unfortunate timing for the 10. This is practically what Jay Beckard's season's been. It's just an instant victim moment every single time. As you see the 11 and Tyler Thomas wiggles, gets up to the outside wall, loses it, comes back down,
outside.
and Jay Becker, the innocent victim,
Outside.
Still there.
and sent to the inside wall.
Just nowhere for Becker to go in the 10. And like you
there.
said, that's just
Hold
been
your
the
line.
story of his season. Has had speed at times.
Right rear.
And at other
Still
times,
there.
just been caught up in it.
Still there, door.
Not necessarily his fault.
Clear up.
You're clear
Hard
high.
contact
Clear
with the
high.
inside wall, and that's going to be night done.
There you go.
Machine is he'll probably
Gonna try to cross
Got
over.
one
week
inside.
at Bristol, but
Left rear.
there was a little bit
Stay
bits of
high.
mistakes, a little bit of contact with the wall can really upset these cars. We saw it right there.
Stay
Just
high.
close left to 10, and the inside wall he goes, and thank God for Jay Becker.
Stay high.
There you go. Nothing for you on exit.
how
Clear
long
low,
because
Clear all the way around.
It's got up to second position. This 21, the last 3 laps is just making the surge forward. Other driver trying to tag along with the 24 of Cameron Sartin and Chris Stitz. They're doing a great job just swapping back and forth. But Ross Tatum no longer really fall in line with the 1. He'll take the lead position. Ross Tatum back to the point. This 21 machine gets a win here tonight, locking and booking his ticket to the championship Final 4 at Kansas. And this 21 really wants to just get it done, not worry about Bristol next week, where anything could happen at the last Great Coliseum.
Yeah, get it done and over with tonight. Get the win. Lock yourself in. Don't have to worry about lap traffic or just running too hard to one another next week in Bristol. It could cause you to have issues. Came into tonight -2 to Christopher Norris. Norris not too far behind. He's trying to battle with Chris Stitz, but for Ross Tatum, what could really be
Getting close to halfway, working lap 47, coming to 48.
you think back to when he won his championship in the Xfinity Series a couple seasons ago, the sister track, a similar track when they ran the championship race at Vegas, would be great for him if he can get locked into Kansas in 2 weeks.
Trying everything to get up front, not really run this one. It's Ross Tatum. He's also got other drivers that have the same mentality for tonight's race as our whole entire top 12, top 13 now. Drivers all within 2 seconds of one another. They are all clustered up. Anyone can still have a chance to fight forward. It's really
Andrew Medlin right in front of you.
here for those that decided to pit and take the stage bonus points. We're starting to fall backwards. So we're marching to the midway zone, Trevor. These drivers are now on almost 30 laps for this run for those that decided to pit early
Outside.
compared to those that pitted at the stage.
Go.
20 laps for this run.
Outside.
It's going to be a question for something.
Door.
Still there.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe around the
Side by side.
5 mark, we'll see pit stops for these
Stay low.
guys.
There's a
So
car on the high
the guys
side.
who
All
can
clear, all
on
clear.
that first caution around that up.
Still got the 99 outside now. Clear up.
Don't have to maybe so lap 50, 55, maybe 60. We'll see these guys come down pit road, and for the rest of the field, probably around 70, 75. I would think. I could be wrong. I didn't get a fuel number here tonight. But that's kind of what I'm thinking on a 2-mile racetrack. So we'll have to wait and see. But pit stops, I'm sure, same for these guys that pitted before the stage break, going to be happening relatively soon.
Talk about
Close.
relatively soon. Well, one driver
Just a little.
motion. Jonathan Burt saying he's going to come to pit road, which I'm not surprised. He was one of the 10 drivers that did not pit at our stage yellow. Going to get service done as well. Joining him going to be teammate of Texas Speed, the 11, and Tyler Thomas, who might be staying in.
We are halfway.
Get damage repair. Brandon Colley, as well as John Darkin, side by side. Other drivers almost 3 wide. Cedric Hunter and others continue to falter back. Travis Dart, Hunter just continue to go backwards. And now Zach Hall and Ken Campbell on the surge to try to get back inside of our top 5.
Yeah, Hunter trying to battle with the guys that are on the same set of tires as he is. Travis Dart, Will Bustler, and those guys on the same strategy. Then you got Stitz, Norris,
car in
Zach
front
Hall,
is
Ken
pitting.
Campbell on the newer tires trying to get through. So you've got kind of 2 separate battles. At the same time, old tires battling for position, new tires battling for the same position, trying to work their way through one another. Zach Hall going to take it to the inside of the 26. 26 going to take it to the outside of the 7 of Cedric Hunter. They're 3 wide at the moment through 1 and 2. We'll see what kind of run
There you go.
Travis
Got
Dart
one
can get.
outside.
Zach
Right front.
pitch to the bottom. He's going to lose a little
Stay
bit of
low.
time to the
There's a car
7
on the
and the
high side.
26. So he's going to have to regroup and try to make pass on both these
Still
drivers
there.
again.
Very aggressive
All
move.
clear, all
All
clear.
around. This is that time. Have to be aggressive.
Still clear.
Hesitate and to pass. These
Just like the last guy is going to try the crossover. Left rear.
getting closer and closer to the halfway
Door.
Stay
On you
high.
tight.
There's a car
ramping
on
up,
the
but we
side.
have to take a break here at Ricky Fast Broadcasting. Thank you
Still
so
there?
much for
Hold the
joining
line.
with us here at the Full Set Racing Series.
You're going to have them on exit with the help of the draft.
All
And the
clear, all
drivers
clear.
have put on a great show for the On
Clear all the way.
200 and Auto Club. Thank you for joining with us. We'll be back. See
P12.
with pit stops underway.
Got one inside.
88 left
Stay
front.
high. Clear low, clear low.
Easy, Charlie Brown.
A little bit loose.
All right, you got
Got one
this.
outside.
Right side.
Stay low.
You got a little bit of draft help in front of you,
Stay low.
too.
There's a car on the high side.
And he was there just long enough to
Still
give you a
there.
hand. Still there, right rear.
All clear. All
Clear up. Nice. He's not going to try to cross. And he doesn't have a run inside. Good job.
Outside.
He just threw that way wide. Wow.
The Hail Mary.
Right. All right. P11. The top 11, which is where you are, is all cars, or most cars, that pit on lap 27. Fourth, fifth, and sixth are the only guys still inside those ranks that were on pit road lap 20. Look at you just picking them off one at a time. Right front.
You got one outside. Stay low.
Sorry about that.
Stay low.
17 still outside. 3 wide in front of you.
Stay
Double
low.
wide in front of that.
3 wide. You're in the middle.
Good save, 99.
Hold your line.
Chaos
You got one
driver.
Cleared
outside.
99.
You wide
17
there.
outside.
All clear,
Brandon
all
Colley
clear.
with the big
Digging
slide,
in
the
your top
99
10.
into the
Outside.
grass for a quick moment, gets back on the
Stay
apron.
low.
Woo, a big scare, and the driver, they're
Clears 17. 26 outside.
the same moves that they were able to do just 15 laps ago. They're
Stay
not able
low.
to do
You're going
it.
to come up side by side.
Closer and closer.
99's going to line up with you. 17 behind the 26. Still clear low.
With me is Trevor Earhart. You are watching the Full Send Racing Series playoff action for the round of 8, first race of 2
3 wide.
in
You're in
this
the middle.
Six looking low.
Inside, 3
drivers.
wide
They're
there.
just
That's some new tires.
3 wide.
that
You're in the
shows
middle.
his current moment.
I was getting ready to say, what in the world?
Yeah, that's some new tires.
Stops. We've got about 4 to
Hold
5
your line.
drivers.
That's that was P24, still 3 wide right now. 26 up high, 6 low.
Clear.
No,
2
another
wide.
10 to about
6 out.
15 more
Clear,
laps.
low.
The field is still showing some great action. Trevor,
Stay
it's a
low.
couple of scares, but
26 right rear.
it's the 8 of Brian McCann who's been saving his tires
low.
for this exact moment.
Yeah, he and Brandon Colley both kind of saving their tires. We saw there when we came back from commercial break, the hold
Stay
the breath
low,
moment
there's
for
a
the
car
99.
behind.
One outside now, clear 2-6.
Wide there.
A little bit of contact with
Still
the
there.
15 to
Hold your
Campbell,
line.
almost sent Brandon Colley
One right rear on you, kind of tight.
positions.
Stay low.
Look, McCann
He's about to lane up.
working his way back up through the field, got around the sticks,
Stay low.
on the inside of Bustler, 26,
Move your way up to P7. Good job. One still on you, kind of tight.
and the rest of the guys in
Still
front
there.
of them is,
You got about a lane.
patience that he showed.
One outside.
Off for that 8.
It's Brad Marty. Road, that being
Still there.
Texas
Hold your
One
line.
still there.
You're clear.
You
high.
are clear up.
high.
Nice.
and also Christopher Melton.
Good job.
Pit road. None of our front runners, though, have shown any signs of coming into pit road and making their stop, nor have the drivers that pitted before our stage break back at lap 20.
26 going to try to
All
look
clear.
inside. Nothing for you on exit. Still clear.
On what they wanted to go for. In the front, it's Cameron starting to lead the way. Ross Tatum just losing that battle and pass. As we're seeing Jonathan Burke, who's got fresh rubber, just showing that closing rate difference. And another driver who's starting to close in, Christopher Norris in the 38 machine, our pole sitter, back inside of the top 5, and now battling for 3rd.
Yeah, just slowly closing in on these guys with those fresh tires on the same set of tires as Sarton and and Tatum. The one kind of standout in all this, the 7th.
Both of these guys in front of you are for position.
So I'm battling for Trey Jackson, one of those drivers that pitted before the stage break on those older tires, actually running really good in that 7 machine, past the 38, and now trying to run down Tatum and Sarton. But Morris just trying to hold on and get a little bit of toe off that 7 that goes in on those 2 in front of him.
Trying his best, a little bit of a scrape by Ross Tatum there. He's on the puff of smoke by the 21. Wasn't a big enough graze to lose all his momentum, but close enough to stir up the dust. Eric gets up the corner, and all these traffic.
I'm actually really impressed with the 7. He was on pit road
Stay low.
lap 20,
How do we hit those
and he's been able to stay inside the top 3.
very unique on how fast you're going around this track. But also,
Right front.
you're going to get into pit road with some of these drivers right on top of one another. That is going to be all on communication. And Trevor, there's been
Still there. Right side.
And we've
They're about a lane and a half up.
Yeah, we've seen it a couple of times. And
There you go.
me calling out when you're going to pit road with the different routes these guys can take. Getting to pit road could be kind of treacherous as you slow down through.
Still right front. You should have the line in.
Road stretch, and if you got a car behind you, you don't call it out. Easy to run over.
15 way outside.
Let's see what happens once we start getting through this cycle.
Right rear, not clear.
You got to get out of your box at speed and give up a lot of time on this race.
That's okay though. You got a good run, able to stay right with them, even though they're able to tandem.
hit pit road. Well, first of our drivers are inside of the top 10.
32 outside now.
He's going to be
On the right rear. About a half a lane up.
reaction with 40 laps to
One groove up.
Drivers coming into pit road.
15 back behind the 32.
This could be the last pit stop of the night for some of these drivers. They're able to save enough fuel, but you cannot make a mistake.
The late team drivers just came down pit road. Will Bustler, John Dart, Medlin, and Chavez.
Making their pit stop as the front group still perching on top one another.
Clear up.
Fifth.
Good job.
Brian McCann. Who's going to have the fifth?
That puts you P5, sir.
Pit road.
That's the question. Who's going to get fifth? Cedric Hunter makes a pass for second. So proving that the old tire is not that big of a deal, as he's been one of the faster cars on track. But back here, McCain gets around Zach Hall. College got the car line behind him. Ken Campbell in the 15th. Ken Campbell, after the dominant opening performance in this race, really hasn't been able to keep up and get back up there in that dirty years.
Looks like you have about, what, 9 laps left in the tank?
Here's 21. I'm trying to run down the 24 of Cameron Sarton and Sam. That 7-lap advantage in tires. Not phasing the 7 machine as he's a 10th quicker than our racing.
He's faster. He's technical.
Yeah, we'll be pitting shortly.
Yep. All right, I'm going to make sure.
Because
Yep, don't forget your brake bias. I'm going to set everything up.
Other drivers are trying the same feat. As driver gets loose off the exit of turn 2, is Brandon Colley, who was another major skip for the 99 off the exit of turn 2. But for Cedric Hunter, this is incredible pace. The 7 showing, and this has got to be scary for the rest of the field, because if Hunter hits around the same zone as these others that are still out on track, this 7 could be the threat to win here tonight.
He very well could be.
All right, you are good to come on down whenever you're ready.
Within 1, 2, maybe 4 laps of them, of everybody around him, I'd really be afraid if I'm that of Cameron Sarton, Ross Tatum, Christopher Norris, about that 7 machine in the pace that he's been able to have.
You're reeling these guys in.
It's definitely going to be one to watch out for, but the question is going to be, when do these guys make their pit stops?
You've been the fastest of Norris and Campbell all 5 of the last 5 laps.
7th position actually got around Zach Hall, but you know, everybody really starting to struggle on these tires, apart from what it appears to be this 7 machine.
Nice, nice, nice.
As well.
Hell yeah, dude.
It's going to be seeing the 80 of Trey Jackson making their stops. They're part of the crew that decided to stay out. But the first of the drivers that pitted at our stage, Brian McCann, no work over the radio, just over the text chat. And the 8 makes it into pit road.
Interesting call from McCann. Early pit stop, I would think, from the 8 machine. He's coming down with drivers that pitted before he did. As you can see, the 26 Travis start with a huge mistake getting into his box, Sam.
It's a massive slide. He's trying to now angle his car to where service will be done. This is costing over 20 seconds of wasted time, and he finally is able to get those tires up.
Too much rear brake in the car, and that's one of those in-car adjustments drivers can make. Looks like Ross Tate and Chris Stitz, they're going to come down pit road this time by, but one of those in-car changes you can make, changing the brake bias. A little bit too much rear brake, trying to get into his pit box, causes the 26 to spin out, but able to get in his pit box. But
all right, you're going to have 1 clear outside right now. That's 39. 5 coming up. You are clear first and second group. Come on up.
Still
clear all the way to the wall.
Cedric Hunter, he's been out on track 45 laps now. This is incredible.
55 outside.
Radio making the call that he's coming into pit road this time around.
Nothing for you.
Cedric Hunter.
Slow car ahead.
He could be an advantage here staying this late.
It really could be. I mean, you can think about it. He's pitting 1 lap after Brian McCann. Now coming to pit road with the likes of Ken Campbell, Christopher Wade, Stitz, Zach Hall, Brandon Colley, all Christopher Norris, all down pit road at the same time on the 7 machine. And I mean, he was up there battling for the lead with the 24 of Cameron Sarton. And I mean, if he has a good pit stop, Sam, he's one that you have to watch out for the rest of this race.
Might have missed out on the playoffs, but he would be a major threat. was this 7 machine of Cedric Hunter. As the drivers entering pit road, hitting your marks, see the puff of smoke as drivers lock it into their boxes. Karen Sart now going to come into pit road. William Duff also expected to hit pit road here shortly. Those will be the last couple of drivers that need to make their pit stop, pit entry for the 24 machine. As get to see him around the corner is the 2.
All right, Sarton's going down pit road right now. He was the leader.
Yeah, these drivers are going about 140 around the corners.
William Duff and Alex Jones have not yet come on down pit road. Last time they were on was lap 27.
Stand still, get the serves done, then get back out on track. And if you
Jonathan Burt was on pit road lap 49.
Hour, you can find yourself with a penalty.
And the couple ahead of you came in 3 laps earlier than you on lap 61.
Completely done. We're still waiting for Alex Jones and William Duff to make their pits that will fully complete our pit cycle here. And, you know, for the drivers that we're hoping for this race to stay green, like Cedric Hunter and a couple of others, this is falling right into their hands if we continue to stay green.
Yeah,
Got one
if
outside.
this stays green, it can really fall into those
5 outside
Ross Tatum
and clear. Come on up.
and the like of those guys who have shown the long run speed right now. It should
P5 right back where you were
in the 6th. He was one of the first cars.
with 4 brand new tires.
He should inherit the lead once William Duff, Alex Jones pit. Then it'll be Will Bustler, Brad McCann, one of the earlier of the drivers who took up the pit stop.
And once William Duff and Alex Jones come on down pit road, that'll put you P3.
That about third position. Then you have John Dart and Andrew Medlin in it.
On and off pit road, just like we said earlier.
Seemed to
Great job.
speed, but Sam, that 8 with that early pit stop might have the track position. He might find himself getting into victory lane here tonight.
Thank you.
There are a couple of drivers that were aiming for a second green flag pit stop. That's going to be the 6th.
So I'm racing Jonathan and Will here.
Yep.
Thomas. They're going to both have to make another stop in Sam Siegel.
And their tires are 3 laps older.
Well over 45 laps. So it looks like 45 laps is that window you're looking for. And those drivers a little bit too far out. William Duff, though,
Jonathan's 19.
he'll go another 3 to 2 more laps for the 77. Alex Jones
He ain't looking too hot.
picture of another 3 to 4 more laps before he needs to make his stop. It's coming up to 30 laps to go. Will Bustler leads the charge of those that hit it early. Brian McCann, 3-lap advantage on his tires, just a second off of the one.
Keep me up to date on Will versus my time.
Will do.
Battle for the lead as Bustler gets by Burke. And with 30 laps to go, we do have to also give a shout out to the amazing sponsors that help out here at Full Set Racing.
Faster 4 of the last 5 laps.
Major 4 of Butt Kicker. We've been missing.
Clear 6.
Easy sponsor to have for this series, as if you'd like to get a little bit more immersed into your gaming or viewing space, you get yourself a gamer too. Instead of just hearing the sounds, but not feel the sounds with Butt Kicker as well for Next Level Racing. Next Level Racing is a great way to upgrade your racing sound. It's just being in a normal chair, maybe a desk. I don't feel like you're active.
All right, so Duff is coming down pit road right now. This will put you P3.
Options.
Alex Jones still has to come on down pit road. That's going to put you behind Will Bustler, so that'll put you P2.
Budget item that's
And that's him right in front of you.
sensation, little complex area. Go on over Next Level Racing to go elevate your racing today. And Gersim Studios. Gersim
28 to go.
is a button box system that you'll find on Etsy. Gersim Studios allows you to have control of your pits. Drivers are all making changes on the fly when they're coming into pit road. You heard her talking about brake bias. Button box allows you to make those adjustments just as quickly as you need.
Leader ran a 43 that time. You ran a 31.
Studios, get your button box today. And your sponsor for today's race and a major sponsor of the series on the Throttle Podcast. On the Throttle Podcast has been a great coverage if you've been watching the last season of NASCAR. As that of William Duff as well
job,
as
man.
Trey
You're up
Jackson have been
second.
talking about
Next car is the
NASCAR
leader.
season.
Another 2/10 in your pocket.
Check out their most recent episode 78, giving a recap of the championship weekend that NASCAR had.
It's just shy of a second back to Ross Tatum.
On what a race we've had so far. Trevor, under commercial breakdown, talk about it. This track, it's so incredible. It's a shame that it's no longer going to be in service in real life anymore, that it's being transferred into a short track, but man, it is always awesome on
There you go. Way to hunt the clean air.
And the race for the lead is now underway.
Yeah, race for the lead underway. Race for the drivers trying to catch
Got
up.
one
That
outside.
lead
Right front. You got the line.
has
Still
Papa
there.
one of Will Bustler, and then
He led that lap.
Still there.
Something tells me there will be a new leader next lap.
on that battle. But yeah, this track just it doesn't matter
there.
what cars you bring here. It could be anything
You're
from
clear.
He's washing up. You are clear, sir.
racing Indy cars to trucks, Xfinity cars, next gens, COT cars. This track always puts on a great show. We get the Medlin can here late into a run as he's still putting a lot of really. He's trying to hold on and potentially get himself a top 10 run as he's been passed by that of Hunter and Norris, and now trying to pull off Kim Campbell. But such a shame to see such a fun racetrack and such a fan favorite to get torn down. And it's
Leader, 8 car.
going to be a very interesting short track.
Yes, so we're on the
There you go, man.
official schedule.
Now
So the live puddle club will turn into virtually
Something must have happened to Cameron Smith,
all of its glory.
or Cameron Sarton rather. He's
Recap.
he's way back in 17th now.
Yes, Medlin goes high and Campbell goes low. It's 15. That's on Stephen Free Fast Racing.
Battle for P2.
We also look back to a driver in 10th place, which, I mean, you got to give kudos on the fact that he's even in 10th place. Brandon Colley, what a roller coaster of a night this 99's been having. He pushed down the gate for it a couple of times. That's amazing.
Car behind is Cedric Hunter. He was last on pit road, lap 66, so he's got 5 laps fresher tires, 25 to go.
For a decent run here this evening.
Yeah, this is what he needed after that bad performance 2 weeks ago, and Nashville needed a good run here tonight. Didn't get
Hey, Mox, how's it going?
he wanted it, and unfortunately for him, Ken Campbell up there in 7th, Norris in 6th, and Colley coming into the night 2 points behind the 38 machine. He's going to kind of need to close that gap, but setting himself up for some decent momentum going into next week at the short track at Bristol. So, you know, could set himself up to potentially maybe steal a spot into that championship four at Kansas if he has a good run.
You were really good on the long run before. Just keep it going.
You see on screen,
Don't worry about your rear view.
make his advancement forward. Christopher Norris, who hit it on the same lap as Cedric Hunter. What a job by Christopher Norris. Has cut down over a second just going into pit road and having a clean pit stop. And the 38 has now put himself in a decent chance of fighting for a win. If he can just stay in the kind of...
Doing good, Mox.
They're both marching.
Thank you.
Just have to take it easy once they get up there, then start fighting and dueling it out between the 38 and Christopher Norris. That if he gets a win, he's locked into that final four. One of our 8 drivers that made it into this round.
The pole sitter for tonight, just trying to follow the tracks of the same machine. Both of these guys are about a 10th quicker than that of Brian McKay and Ross Tatum. 4/10 quicker than that of Will Bustler. But Bustler on those older tires really starting to fade back from the lead 2 and falling into the clutches of the 7 and the 38. But for Norris, he needs to stay with the 7 that way. When he gets up there to Ross Tatum, Brian McKay starts to battle, he can pull him along and get him an opportunity to make the pass. That's what we saw happen in the truck race last season here with Altus, John Dart. I can't remember who the other driver was, but that's kind of what caused the catalyst to allow the John Dart to get that win last season, was the leaders battling hard, wrecking into each other. So if Norris can stay close, who knows what could happen here in the closing laps.
Last 2 seasons,
The newest tires of the top 5 right now sitting in P3, Cedric Hunter.
led 3. The first driver win was Chris Essery, who led 43 laps of 98. He led the most laps and got the pole, the only driver to do so. The last 2 winners either led the most laps or have gotten the pole. Christopher Norris is he's trying to have a pole and get a win in the 38 machine as he marches his
All right, man, take it easy.
hustler for himself. A few other drivers have made their pit stops. So talk about how a couple of drivers needed to make 2 green flag pit stops to make it to the end. That being Pierre Dillon as well as Jonathan Burt. They've made their stops. Or that Tyler Thomas still need to make his final stop, as well as Sam Siegel before they are 100%
20 to go, next time by.
of this race. But one driver, when we talk about green flag pit stops, there's that Goldilocks effect. You're looking for drivers that sometimes they pit
21 is really trying to turn low. He is scrubbing the hell out of his tires.
that middle portion back in
Good.
Cameron Sarton might have stayed out a little bit too long. Came out of pit road all the way back in 18th position, and also had a very long stop. He was in pit road from the start of pit road to the end for over 50 seconds. On average, it was anywhere from 44 to 46 seconds that the rest of the field was in. Sargent stayed out, gave up time and under pit road. That is a perfect moment for this 24 that was trying to steal win here tonight.
Yeah, I was trying to steal a win. Looked pretty good, but that 5 seconds on pit road time, getting in, you're getting on pit road, getting into your box, getting out of your pit box, and then back up to speed, really going to cost the 24 team here, unless there's a late race caution and some chaos on a restart. Not looking good for Cameron to get himself a good finish here tonight as he looks to the inside of Trey Jackson in the 88, trying to move forward, but 7 seconds, almost 8 seconds behind that of Brian McCann.
It just looks to me about it's too high to climb. It's looking like the biggest threat back to the 100 drivers can win this evening. I have to sit back, just watch the show from a distance as Ross Tatum trying to make this pass for the lead. Our top 4 drivers all within a second of one another. They might be the only 4 drivers that battle for this win.
That was not a good turn.
Sorry, he didn't gain anything.
Yeah, I think he had a bad turn too.
Yeah.
This set of tires of top 4, 17 laps. Ross Tatum, the second oldest, was 16. And Cedric Hunter, Christopher Norris, both hit it 15 laps ago. A small advantage.
Yeah, you got loose right there.
It could be, but
Gained a little bit there,
tire wear.
but yeah, the correct. So he's back to a 10th and a half behind you.
Considering how old his tires were compared to everybody else before that green flag pit stop. But who knows what's going to happen. Tatum really closing in on the 8 of McCain, who just doesn't look like he quite has the speed here tonight that he maybe would want.
I think the bottom side might be where I need to go. I'm getting tight on this top.
If you want to try to take away his line, put the dirty air on him, go ahead.
Peek to the inside, trying to get a good run at turn number 2. You're going to have to use that draft down this long back straightaway.
That's how you were able to stay ahead of Sarton at
Close enough for a down
Michigan.
move. Looks like he's closing in just a little bit more, but doesn't feel comfortable enough to dive it down low. Get down to that white line. You can see that a little bit more trust in the car. The center off the corner, throttled it up, got right to the back corner panel, a little bit lower, trying to utilize the distance. Stayed up, just trying to find small advantage in the roads, the outside lanes, inside. Currently, it's still gaining in the tracks. A little bit higher of a group is going to be Ross Tatum, but Cedric Hunter is here. The 7 machine. Just because Ross Tatum was being more patient and waiting for the long game, the 7 has now closed in the gap. And I mean, Trevor, 17 laps at a mile and a half, maybe at a short track. It feels like nothing. But on a 2-mile course where each lap is 42 seconds in length.
21 a little loose behind you.
Racing to go.
Having to check up. 7th right on his back bumper.
Way to go. In these last, 17 laps, you're going to feel like it's going to
So he's playing a little bit of defense also. He plays too much, he's going to get wrecked. They're side by side behind you.
You've got all the time in the world. You see the shimmying down the front straightaway, the block 21, trying to block the 7 of Cedric Hunter, but there he goes to the inside and got a great drive to the bottom, almost got to the quarter panel of the 8. They're going to be side by side with Tatum, going to go for the slide drop.
7:21 again, side by side.
Now it's a second.
And just like that, Cedric Hunter going to be taking the second place position, but Ross Tatum fights right on.
7's going to try to get on the throttle, be on your outside. Still clear up.
Down that 7 machine. Cedric
Got one
Hunter
inside.
said it
Looking low, inside.
Still
Man,
there.
his tires are good.
Up in the center of the corner and almost.
That
Man,
is.
he's
That's only 2 lap pressure tires.
All clear, all clear.
Position. The nose trying to lead that lap, not able to do so. McCann leads that one, but it
He's
just
making them work though.
Cedric Hunter
Yep.
is gonna take.
Let him keep trying to pull away. Yeah, I mean, look at your exit compared to his.
Hunter Norris trying to use that outside line to get around the 21 of Ross Tatum. Not going to be able to do so, and now going to lose some time as he's stuck behind the older tires of Tatum and McCann. McCann with a great run, though. He's going to look back to the inside. Doesn't want to go
On your clear up.
that easily to the 7 of Cedric Hunter. The 7 to 8 battling through green 4. Here comes Norris to the inside of the 21. He's not going to be able to quite clear as he tried to slide up in front.
Cedric Hunter's falling off a little bit. 38 of Chris Norris coming on up. He's also got the same lap pressure tires as the 7, 2 laps.
Settle McCann tried to go towards the potential pass. We're going to do so. You've seen
Coming to 13 to go next time.
grab that for 2 stop under green. For the 11 machine, other drivers are just trying to hold on the best of their abilities. Side by side for 3rd place, Ross Tatum, Christopher Norris, and Norris still not able to make the pass. This 38, Trevor, it's tough when you're trying to stay in touch with the driver that you're on the same kind of a set of tires, even if they run on the same lap. But with Norris having 2 drivers in between himself and the 7 machine, this looks to be tough, unless Norris can make these passes quickly and efficiently in just 2 laps.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to get the passes up pretty quickly. Looking at the lap times, Cedric Hunter with a
21's tight. He's got you in front and 38 to his outside.
Tatum with a 42.2. Norris on about the same speed as that of Tatum, so losing about a tenth and a half each lap to that 7 machine. He's stuck behind Ross Tatum in the 8 of Brian McCann out to the outside of the 21. We're going to try to see if he can get this passed on the outside, which really hasn't been able to clear of that 21 machine. Keeps losing time to the 707 coming.
Pass it up. Stay equal on the exit of the corner. For Norris, this might be his best opportunity to make the pass. Has the better run. And finally up to 3rd, but Ross Tatum just inching that nose out to the inside, threatening to go down low. Instead, stays in line. Norris back to that 3rd lane. Bradley 4th lane now, really using the track through the center of 1 and 2. And this is going to be a massive run. The 38's trying to just close in the gap, not lose any more ground. And that last lap go around, Cedric Hunter, the fastest car on track of anyone inside of our top 15.
I just had a great run. I mean, you think back to, I believe it was Indianapolis, he was having a great run. It was equal with that of Zach Hall throughout the course of that race until a late race caution kind of, caused some chaos.
Leader's got a lap car right in front of him.
Brandon Colley down the
Lap car's going to go ahead and stay high.
For the 7 to go run. And kind of what could have been season 4 the 7 was a start park early on. Had great speed. Just
38's loose. He's pulling him off the corner.
Consistency, but here tonight looking to get his first win as Norris tries to close down on the 8 of McCann. Cedric Hunter having to deal with a little bit of lap traffic up in front of him. But the top 4 kind of have this race all to themselves. It's about 3 seconds back to that of the 5th place running team.
11's coming up behind. He's got new tires, not a fight for place.
Cedric Hunter trying to get Elton. Tyler Thomas saw fresh rubber trying to march his way through this lead pack. There's always that weird time of early in a race, not even react as lap car being put a lap down. Or
93 gave you the spot, clear low.
Some drivers like to sit back and wait. Others like to get aggressive, but with 10 laps.
Again, 11 right behind you, not a fight for position.
Goes in. That's the 2nd or 3rd position on that rear bumper. Brian McCann under fire from Tyler Thomas. Christopher Norris.
That is the 25th place car.
Once again, it's now 3 drivers in between others, and it's soon to be others. This 38 went from maybe a chance to fight for a win to now under fire from lap traffic.
Yeah, you gotta get through this lap traffic. You got fresh tires going through, old tires coming back. More fresh tires coming through, as I believe that's Tony Brent in the 28. Or no, I'm sorry, it was Jonathan Burt in the 6. Trying to get through on fresher tires and just costing Norris a little bit more time that he's losing to not only the 8.
The next one coming through on fresh tires is going to be the 6. He's right behind you. He's side by side with the 38. 38's probably not going to be too happy about that.
Drivers trying to make their way forward. Cedric Hunter just allows Tyler Thomas to blitz on by on the outside. As Burt still not able to make this pass just yet on the 38 machine. And will do so. Christopher Norris, he's been running this top lane for so long. He's got a question on his tire. The road's just burned out and done. It's just no longer to get down that inside lane anymore. 8 laps to go here tonight.
8 to go. Something tells me the leader has used up his tires.
First race of the round of 8. Let's see who
you were half a tenth faster than him last lap.
Drivers know they are not able to get a win and automatically lock themselves into that race in 2 weeks. They've got to deal with the last great Coliseum. See these drivers fight it and duel it at Bristol, the short track madhouse that no one knows that they're going to be able to survive, let alone find themselves a victory lane. It's going to be a good one next week. You do not want to miss. 7 of Cedric Hunter continue to try to pull away from the rest of the field and stay pretty equal distance. About 4 tenths to about 5 tenths is the difference between first and second.
Yeah, just running the
He took that half tenth back.
And Brian McCann, so that gap staying.
Hold on to it. Hold on to it. Good job.
Into next week, if Cedric Hunter gets the win, no playoff driver guaranteed into that championship 4 race in Kansas. I mean, you think McCann would be safe based off the amount of points that he came into tonight, plus 28. If he finishes second, pretty well solidified on points into that championship. Or Zach Hall down there in 6th.
He's got it. I ain't got nothing for it.
With his points going.
Well, 38's dropping back. He actually just touched the wall. So right now you've got a pretty good hold on P2, and that lap car is not cutting him any breaks.
Just down there in 20th and 19th and 20th, they're going to be in must-win situations. But from Campbell to Colley, and they can come down to points. And anything can happen next week when we get to that short track in Bristol.
Yeah, I think based off if this race ends now and there is no win yellow that comes out, it's going to be a close three-horse fight. Who's going to get that fourth place in points? It's going to be very close. I know for Zach Paul, he shouldn't be feeling comfortable, but again, you got to remember, Zach Paul did not get any stage points for the 32 machine. Didn't get those stage points. A lot
Coming to 5 to go.
Did get
6 right behind you. New tires.
4 around.
38's not too far behind him, though.
Very close. Who's going to move on next week at Bristol? You're not going to want to miss it, but with 5 laps to go, Cedric Hunter has now gapped himself out to 6:10.
Inside.
Great lap by the 7th machine. He continues to try to pull away from Brian McCann. And McCann under pressure by the 6, so Jonathan Burke lacks traffic, helping Cedric Hunter here late.
Yeah, going to help the 7 out a little bit in the Burke, trying to get by on those fresher tires around the 8 of Brian McCann at 21. Ross Tatum falling back a little bit, might fall into the clutches of Ken Campbell, who's trying to close in on that 4th place running machine of 21 Tatum. Tatum not losing too much ground to Christopher Norris. Norris kind of just stuck there in 3rd. Got the lap car Burke between him and McCain. As those 3 kind of just all in the same gap to one another. Is Zach Hall and Campbell trying to furiously close in, but running out of laps.
They're running out of laps. Looks to be Hello Kitty feeling comfortable up front. That 7 machine. Best of the driver. It's also
38's tight. Had to back off.
Gonna go around Travis Dark. Running back in 19. Chris Hitz also in 20th. Both of those drivers might be in must-win scenarios. Going into Bristol next week. Tough pill to swallow. But once again, I still got to continue to give kudos. Brandon Colley, with all of his slides, all of his errors, caught up in messes. 6th place is right now on the table for the 99 as he's battling with Zach Paul currently.
Yeah, just got by Zach. Actually, 3 wide was Zach and I believe the 93 of Melton as they go down the front straightaway. And that 99 machine just, had a couple of mistakes, been able to survive. Now trying to get this position from last season's champion in what could be a really good run for himself, setting himself up to not be that far back from the cutoff line going into next week at Bristol.
Minimizing mistakes, minimizing any errors that could have popped up right now. Staying steady and stable, was able to push out the fuel longer than anyone else, and now in a comfort zone. Still a little bit under 6/10 is the difference between second, but Cedric Hunter right now with 2 laps to go. This 7 machine just having a blast up front, enjoying himself, almost the cooldown laps with the way he's running up front, staying ahead from Brian McCann.
That was a very good 1 and 2.
2 more laps, 4 more miles for this 7 machine.
He's too far.
Oh, I know he's too far, but that was still a very good 1 and 2.
Causes to go into overtime, just needs to get that white flag. Can pretty much secure himself a win here tonight in what's been, since the second half of this race.
I need that blue turtle shell.
For himself
Yeah.
in the lead, fighting with Trey Jackson,
All right,
gave
man.
up a little
White
bit
flag at the
of
line.
positions, and then fought all the way back.
Shoot him and knock him out of the way.
Side with Cameron starting before the pit strategy, played it right. Here he comes to the white.
Yeah, you gained a half tenth on him that time. Last 3 laps,
Next level.
actually 4 of the last 5 laps, you were faster than the leader.
No other flag will
He's just up there cruising.
Yeah,
as the 7.
it is.
Just has to keep hitting.
Yep, but you know what? All you got to do is the same thing because Chris Norris, he is
Pick up
nowhere near you.
necessary to lock himself into the championship final 4, but he might have done just enough to feel comfortable going into Bristol. But it's the 7 of Cedric Hunter. He fought, he clawed. Many a
P2 pretty much puts me in the final 4, I think.
Yep, I think that's what the broadcast just said too. You won't have to worry about whatever happens at Bristol.
points for the 7 machine, but it took him all season. And tonight,
flag,
for the
man.
on the
Which is good because anything can happen at Bristol.
That's right.
He's
There
a
you go,
winner
man.
in the
Good
full
job,
set
driver.
racing series.
It's got to feel good for Cedric Hunter to get that win, get the monkey off his back from what's been kind of a tumultuous season for himself. Like you said, started at a starting park. It's had speed, had been involved in wrecks, but here he is tonight, getting himself a win here tonight.
See if I can remember to call you out this time.
Himself into the championship race at Kansas. Norris was great in 3rd after being
What was it, last 2 times I forgot?
rounding out your top.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
What a
Yeah.
race tonight. Only 2 cautions, I believe, here tonight. The stage breaking 1 caution before that, and then long green flag runs and great racing throughout the course of the night.
And tonight broke a lot of trends. That's what this season has been, is a lot of trend-breaking moments, and Cedric Hunter breaking another one. What a season it's been. Cedric Hunter now joins the class of drivers that have won this season, being the 10th different winner this season. And
Just in case they try to pull your cameras off.
And made the playoffs. He could have been fighting for a championship with
Yeah,
what he's been
it's off.
running.
Okay, I wasn't going to say anything earlier.
But congratulations to the 7 machine. As we will step away, when we come back, we'll talk to our top 3. Cedric Hunter, Brian McCann, Christopher Norris, as you enjoy the smoke show of the 7, burning it down here at Auto Club.
Burning it down. Yeah, you were faster than 7. Just you probably needed a good 10 to 15 more laps.
He did a damn good job saving his tires and passing all those people to get up there in first.
Yeah, he did. I mean,
I thought it was really going to be me and Ross going at it, and Ross started dropping off, and then all of a sudden, here comes Cedric. I was like, what?
yep. Yeah, Ross ended up dropping back to 4th when he was turning in. I mean, he was scrubbing the tires. I was like, man, it was crazy the angle that he was taking.
Yeah, it was all about that right. Well, it was right front on entry. You know, you had to have that right front to make the turn, and then the right rear to get loose on you.
I think we need a stretch to the front stretch for Cedric.
Oh, he landed in victory lane.
Yeah, he did. That's pretty good.
All right, man. Well, thank you for the spotting tonight, and hopefully I don't forget to shout you out for the 3rd time in a row.
You're absolutely fine, man. Yeah, I will talk to you again. Again, next week is Bristol, and I think you got one more after that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the championship, Kansas, I think.
Let's see. Yeah, Bristol for 225 laps, and then Kansas for 140 laps. So, all right, man. I'll catch up with you. Good job tonight.
All right, thank you. Take it easy.
Yep.
Go.
Hey, I
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the post-race show for the Full Send Racing Series. We're trying to calm down, because if you were just watching the burnouts by Cedric Hunter, he just did probably the coolest thing you could do. It's called a grip flip, but it's when you slide, you hit the grass, and it flips. And he landed it in victory lane, and also gets the win here tonight. I don't know what was cooler, the win or the flip. We'll have to ask him as we go down to victory lane to Cedric Hunter. Cedric, congratulations on the win, but I don't know if we're more hyped about the win or you landing that flip. That was incredible. How are you feeling, man?
I'm feeling pretty good. Yeah, I was expecting the car to tumble there. When I did my first burnouts going the right way, I felt the car kind of like pitch up on 2 wheels a little bit, and I was like, oh, it was close. And well, the second time around, it fully came over. So it was a good landing, though. We landed in that little checkered flag spot there near the wall. So, I think if I'm going to rate myself here, I'm going to say 10 for 10.
I'd give you a 10 for 10 too, Cedric. But I mean, what a race tonight. You came in early there on that first caution, and then, you were able to keep up with the guys on fresher tires, get the lead back, pulled the right pit strategy out. Man, what was the key for you tonight, saving tires, and then kind of just reflect on your season? You started as a starting park, you've had speed, caught up in wrecks, but I mean, how are you feeling about after tonight and then the final two races coming up?
Yeah, the race didn't have practice pace at all. Qualifying was kind of mediocre, which is usually kind of my forte. So, going into it, just trying to learn as much as I could. I realized the bottom was really good. I noticed in the first run, Zach, maybe 5 positions or so behind me, was kind of just running down there and slowly creeping up. So I figured I'd try it for a bit while everybody else ran kind of the middle line. And, before we got that caution, I think around lap 20, I felt like I was, the pace was picking up, and so it was good. Like that lane seemed to work for the long run. So Kasha came out. The only person I'm really racing for anything is Medlin, trying to get the 13th place. So as soon as I kind of saw him start, kind of poking his nose down to pit lane, I had to match it. And, thankfully it was the right strategy. And then from that point on, it was just a matter of just saving our stuff as much as we could. I really wasn't expecting to drive back up to, was it the lead technically? I think I took over the lead right before pitting, like that corner. So, the pace was good. Season has been rough. Not my proudest one yet. Like you said, starting parks, we had a lot of technical problems throughout the season too, which I'm happy to say that I finally got that figured out and fixed. So it won't be a problem going forward. Unfortunately, it cost us a spot into the playoffs, and of course, I had to wait till after I was eliminated from contention to actually win a race. So I had a good last 2 to 3 weeks, and hopefully we can carry that on with some momentum and get ourselves a second win before the season's done.
Well, we know you're also very strong. Go heading to Bristol next week. What is the confidence level going into Bristol and Kansas as our last 2 races?
Ooh, Kansas. Okay. So Bristol, I think will be good. Like my long run pace is always like pretty decent there. So hopefully we don't get too many wrecks, and I get to show that off a little bit. I think I'm feeling good. My expectations is like, I'd say maybe like depending on how the race plays out, assuming that there will be cautions, I'm going to say probably I'm hoping for a top 5 is what my expectations are. And then for Kansas, I love Kansas. It's definitely up there on probably one of my favorite tracks, just with how it races, how multi-groove and stuff it is. So that should be a good one. Hopefully we can get ourselves a win there. But obviously, I guess Kansas will be the championship 4 race, so there'll be plenty of guys that'll run far more practice than I will, so they'll be hard to beat.
Well, we cannot wait to see how you're going to perform in these next 2 races. But Cedric, before we officially let you go, the floor is now yours for any shout-outs.
I appreciate it, man. As always, I want to give you guys a huge shout-out. I'm really looking forward to going back and rewatching this race. I think that the racing, at least from the car's point of view, is really good tonight. So hopefully reflects in the broadcast. Otherwise, I want to thank the league and the drivers. I've had my ups and downs with some of these drivers throughout the season, but tonight, the racing was really good, and thank you to Hack Racing. Most of my teammates weren't around for a good portion of the season, but hopefully Chris can get himself a good finish next week and lock his way into the championship race. And then thanks to Zach for pretty much everything he does. Helps me push myself on a weekly basis. And, good job to the other guys on the podium.
Well, that will be your winner here tonight in the 7 machine, Cedric Hunter being the 10th different winner this season. Congratulations, Cedric. Enjoy this one, and good luck in these final 2 races. To the 8 machine of Brian McCann. Brian, congratulations on a 2nd place finish. Once again, your consistency puts you in a great spot heading into next week. But man, how are you feeling after tonight's performance?
Doing good. I was just hoping to finish the race. I was aiming for top 5 playoff points wise. I'm looking pretty good with the bonus points, so I just didn't want to crash out. So I played it safe and actually made some mistakes early on and put me back in the 19th at the start of that stage. So I just kind of rode around and somehow made it up to 5th on that green flag pit stop, and came back out, and I knew it was all going to be about tire management, and Cedric did it perfect. I just wore my right front a little bit too much, and couldn't get it going down into the turn right, but he was making that bottom line work pretty good.
Brian, you came into the night plus 28. You get a good solid second place finish tonight. Should lock you in points wise to not have to worry about Bristol going into that championship race at Kansas. Do you think ahead to Kansas and start preparing for that, or is your focus on Bristol and getting some momentum built up for that championship race at Kansas?
Yeah, and Bristol, short track, anything can happen. I'm not too worried about it. Not really going to try too hard for the win, just kind of get it over with. And then, like you said, my real aim's for Kansas for the championship race.
Well, Brian, we cannot wait to see how you're going to perform next week and at Kansas, but the floor is yours for any shout-outs before we call it a night.
Yeah, I'd like to thank my family, you guys for doing this broadcast, the league admins for putting this show on, our sponsors, and the drivers for showing up every week. And a big shout out to my sponsor, Repeat 1975. Thank you.
That's going to be the 8 machine of Brian McCann, going to be the highest finisher of our Elite 8 that are still running for a championship. Congratulations, Brian, on a second place finish, and good luck at Bristol next week.
Thank you.
As we
Finished second, he finished
next week.
Thank you.
As we move from second place, we go down to third position. Driver that snuck with the pole and sticks with the top 3 at the end of the day, Christopher Norris in 38 machine. Chris, congratulations on third. Man, how are you feeling after this run here tonight? And was that pole something you expected to grab at the start of the race?
No, so man, I wasn't expecting that finish at all. I knew at Michigan, these types of tracks in this car is maybe my strong suit. Mile and a half plus, I think it's like 2.5 miles to the Auto Club in Michigan. So knowing that knowledge, it definitely helped, but I definitely did not expect to win the pole, and I definitely did not expect to finish third.
Well, I mean, Norris, great run for yourself. We saw you trying to keep up with Cedric Hunter there after that last set of pit stops. I mean, what was it like trying to keep up with him, and just what was it like trying to make passes out there tonight? As it looked a little bit tough once you caught up to Ross Tatum and Brian McCann.
Yeah, I mean, with Cedric, we were just pretty much rolling. I knew he probably knew I was giving him no pressure. We were just trying to catch as soon as possible. I know definitely passing Will. The first time when I passed him, I think on the second run, it was pretty easy, but the last time he didn't make it so easy, but rightfully so after last week. Ross Tatum, he's definitely in a tough point position, so I understand the racing, but trying to pass Will, Ross, and then try to catch up to Brian, I just accidentally bumped myself up, so not a whole lot I could do there, but still a pretty great finish.
I mean, Norris, we've seen you be very good at the short tracks this season and in this car. What is that confidence level heading into Bristol next week, heading to the last great Coliseum where anyone still has a mathematical chance of making it or not making it to the Final Four?
Yeah, man, I've finished Bristol pretty good my last few times. Almost got the win there actually in the Truck Series last time, so definitely going to try to keep that momentum up, especially now starting, so hopefully I can finish third tonight, second at Bristol, and first at Kansas.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. Chris, congratulations on third here this evening, and before we let you go, the floor is now yours for any shout-outs.
Thank you. You guys, of course, for the great show you guys put on. I'm excited tomorrow night for that show. The league admins for the great show they put on as well. All the correct. And Steve as well for being noise control. My family, my mom, dad, and uncle for watching the show tonight. Customlids.com to get yourself a custom hat. And all the fans out there watching and supporting this league.
Well, that will be your third place finisher, the 38 of Christopher Norris. Congratulations on a top 3 finish, and good luck at Bristol on trying to make the Final Four.
Thank you.
As we finish up here at our interviews, congratulations to that 7 machine of Cedric Hunter. I mean, Trevor, what a run for himself as we get the unofficial results up. But, I mean, Cedric finally getting that monkey off his back. The win, the 7's been